Not that one. Probably not. Although I do want to say that I respect, again, it has to go back to respecting anybody be able to have their point of view unless they're intentionally like doing something, demonstrably harmful to someone or something. I can't get behind that. Although I've done some things that, for, the Cabin Fever 2 is going to be coming out of Lionsgate, which is a horror movie, sequel. You do those, and it's a money deal, and you hope to get your investors' money back, and that's a good thing. But if you're talking about where I am in my life right now, if I got American Carol pitched to me, would I do it? Probably not that one, but I do want to say, and I know Steve McAvity did that movie, who was part of the Passion of the Christ, and his company. I do want to say that I respect that. As I would want, and as I can tell you, our movie screen Battle in Seattle at the Democratic National Convention, Stuart and Charlize were out there, and for Obama, and it got very well received in Denver, and it was also screened in Washington, D.C. with some of the staunch Republicans. I really want to say that I believe in the medium of the art of movie making and the medium of movie making because you can show people that may not otherwise be in the movie theater to see this. So would I go see American Carol? Sure. Would I hope that some of the people that are either, whether you're Democrat or Republican, whether you are for absolutely corporate America or you're anti-corporate America, I would hope that people could go see all of these movies and either learn from it or realize they are the way they are, whatever it is. But would I produce, maybe not American Carol necessarily, but I wouldn't turn down something else. Someone just brought me Buto's story, and I found that interesting. I think it's more about the drive of the piece than it has to be always about the message. It's just that Battle in Seattle had a phenomenal message and the rest of it. So I just gave you a very long answer, and I hope I answered it. I'm just not sure if I did all the way. So.
Do you ever think about social or professional consequences to producing a movie that would be unpopular in Hollywood, with a message that would not be a popular message among your peers?
Ask me that again. I got the last part.
Yeah. Do you ever think about the social and professional consequences of producing a movie with a message that would be unpopular among your peers in Hollywood?
Well, do I think about that? I'm not sure that I'm thinking about that so much, no. I'm not thinking about the end result as much as I am the journey, and I'm thinking more about the passion behind the project. So if I did, then I would have said, like American Carol, if it was brought to me, I don't think it was so much because of the meaning behind it. I'm trying to figure out a concise answer for you. I do not live my life as a producer thinking about the consequences, no.
Have you noticed in your first-hand experience, not like second-hand stories, but in your first-hand experience, in any direction on the ideological spectrum, have you noticed people suffering for their ideology in Hollywood?
Some, few, and some of them we know have been in the news. Funny, I almost think that some of us, or everyone, I don't know, maybe everybody tries to play it a little bit safe, and few actually put themselves out there. In some sense, you could use Mel Gibson as a person who did that. I happen to be of Jewish faith, so I have my thoughts about that. But one could say, it's a good question, and I'd have to come back to you to answer it, or come back another time, because I'd like to give you an answer when I really can give you what I feel is my answer, not something just off the cuff. Got it.
You do so many things as a producer. Out of everything you do, what do you think you do best?
Oh, I can tell you, and I think it goes back to my roots. in Judaism. I can tell you one of the best things that I do, which is, you know, when you have to get investors involved, whether it's the market that we're living in now or the market that we were living in, you know, 5 years ago, the thing is to understand the art of igniting the passion and your own passion and igniting it in others. There is the producer cap, which I wear very well, which is understanding and structuring financing. I do it really well. And I understand how to put it all together, and I do really well as mitigating equity investors' risk. Okay, that's what you want to be able to mitigate and help them with, so that they put a small portion in but own most of the money. But I believe what I do, the art of the deal and putting it all together is what I do best. And I also believe getting in the room and igniting the passion in people so that they actually will invest in your idea, use the script, the idea of it, the cast, whatever it is. So I guess it's igniting people's passion to get them to invest and the ability to actually finance and structure these deals to actually make the movies. I think that's my best forte in this business.
As a woman, do you think you have any advantages or disadvantages in producing movies?
Good question. I did an interview with a magazine called Strut Magazine. It's on, they asked about that. I believe, it's funny, I've spoken at women in film and stuff, and what I say to them, I don't believe I'm disadvantaged being a woman. I believe sometimes that's an advantage, and the reason is because sometimes they just don't see it coming. I'm as good as any person. You could say guys in the room. I'm as tough. I'm as competitive. I'm as aggressive. I'd like to say assertive, but I guess women are often called aggressive if we're assertive. The people often say I'm a pit bull before the pit bull comic came out of Palin. And so I believe we have an advantage if you are smart and honest and upfront. My dad, before he died when I was young, taught me how to play chess for a while. So I always sort of look at it as human chess. I kind of look at the next move before it's coming. So I think I have an advantage being a woman almost because it's not always seen as coming in. And, you know, when I walk into a boardroom or in the conference rooms when we have meetings, and it's generally mostly men, I often see the seat at the head of the place. You know, just psychologically I'll sit there, you know, at the table. If there's 20 seats there, I'll sit at the head. I grab that seat right away. So I kind of believe there's an advantage, which I hear other women actually saying that these days. People used to always say, oh, we're disadvantaged, we have the ceiling. I don't think we do. There's always going to be times, and I have felt it a few times, where there's a ceiling, and, you know, the guys will get together, and it's more, you know, it's more the good old boys, but I don't find it as much. I haven't, and I think if I caught myself and thought about that and lived in that muck and mire, I wouldn't be able to do as many movies as I do. I wouldn't be able to find the partners. I work with major, you know, real estate magnates, dairy farmer magnates, clothing magnates, royalty throughout the world. These people, you know, millionaire is a term that I use almost billionaires. I know more of them, and I work with them a lot. I'll fly all over the world to meet with people, and these are very powerful people, and mostly men. And I find myself being able to walk out of the room where they're going to work with me. And I don't know. I mean, as a woman, I can just tell you sometimes I think we have a leg up. It's really how you present it and how you think about yourself. But I can see a lot of other strong women coming out there. And, I mean, strong, smart, and, you know, I feel, you know, I don't really feel the ceiling. Other women may tell you something differently, but I think it's how individually we go out there and work with them. So I hope that's okay. Yes. Got it.
Do you notice a difference in the ethos, the camaraderie, the esprit de corps, working on a movie where people believe in it as a passion project, and working on a movie that is cynical and people are just doing it for paycheck
Yeah, absolutely. There were two movies that I've done. One was called When a Man Falls in the Forest, which was like when a bear falls, you know, when a bear Something in the Forest. Is anyone listening? It was basically that kind of